Hey everyone, today is just one of those raw conversations that I want to have with you and just to give you some encouragement from my heart to yours. When we're leaving narcissistic abuse and sort of recognizing what we've lived with for many years or even grew up in, um, it can be devastating. On one hand, it is a lighter burden to carry because you're no longer daily living with that abuse, but at the same time, when sort of things start to go back to normal and people start to forget that you're struggling or that you really could just use a hug or a phone call, it starts to make you question yourself and wonder, like, where's all those things that I was told all those years that I'm not going to be successful, or I'm not going to I'm not made properly, or that I'm not loved. Are they true? And so we start to like stretch our arms out looking for someone to sort of take us in. I very distinctly remember it being like thinking, like, why can't I just have someone adopt me? Like, I've lost my mom, I've lost my dad, I've lost my siblings, I've lost this husband. Like, I just need grandparents to take me in and just love me and care for me like I needed to be all these years. But every day you have to get up and put your bootstraps back on and um, deal with the car breaking down and just making sure all the bills are paid and that the kids are fed and that the world continues to go, right. But today, this morning, I was okay. So there are a couple of things. So lately, I've just been feeling very lonely and very isolated on this journey, and so of course, like throughout this entire thing, I've leaned into God, and I've of course continued to lean into God. But I also wanted like a community around me, and I just felt really alone. And it's not easy to go at it alone. It's like you need someone to just pick you up and give you a hug and encourage you that it's going to be okay and that you are strong and that you are going to make it, and just to help you build those positive affirmations back into your life, and to continue to pat you on the back and put a hand on your shoulder and say it's okay and validate your feelings and all of those things. So I had been feeling pretty low. I had a really big birthday, number 40, and at the time I injured my foot on the day of my birthday. I spent it in the hospital and just felt really like down and out after all the challenges that this year's brought. And so, I would share this with people around me, and it just felt like everyone was busy and everyone was into their stuff. And I understood it, but it still felt lonely. And so this last weekend that just passed, a dear friend of mine who has been a cheerleader and a champion for me threw me this huge extravaganza birthday. And it was a complete surprise. I didn't know until I pulled up in the driveway and I started to recognize some of the vehicles. And when I got in the house, I just started crying. Like, I was just bawling because all these people that love me so dearly came together to just put on this party for me and make me remember that I am special to them, and that I have a whole team sort of rooting for me and praying for me, which is even more important. And so I felt so touched and so blessed, and to read each and every card and receive each and every one of those gifts that were handmade for me with love and care was just incredible. So I've been feeling really good with that. And then, as I was saying, I picked up YouTube this morning, and I was just watching different things going on and just praying for the people that have been affected by Helene, because even though we're talking like 3 to 4 weeks now since the storm, these people have lost everything, right? Like it's not a power outage where the power comes back on and they lost a few things in their fridge. Like, they have lost their homes, they've lost their vehicles, they've lost loved ones, they've lost their businesses. Like, their world is really shattered. And so I was listening to this video of this man on TikTok, and he was just pouring out his story, and I'm so blessed that he shared it, about how his wife got on top of a hay bale, and the floods took her floating down the river, and he never knew if he'd see her again, and that all he had strength to do was hoist his mother-in-law up into a tree, and he didn't even have enough strength to get himself into the tree right away, and he didn't know if this was going to be the end of him, that these floods were just going to sweep him away, and everyone that he loved as well. But he was finally able to pull himself up into this tree, and him and his mother-in-law just clung to this tree for rescue for hours and hours. And so it just really reminds me of our life and how it is. Like, we're going along, and one day you think everything's good. You've got the house, you've got the cars, you've got the kids, you've got your friends, and you're just clipping along, never thinking that anything could disrupt it. And then another minute, and you become aware of narcissistic abuse, you recognize what's going on, and everything just gets flooded, washed away, like in an instant. The home that you thought that you created, the safe place that you thought you had, the family that you thought was going to be there to support you, you might have lost a job and all sorts of things in this process. But what we need to do is climb up into the arms of Jesus and just cling on for dear life, because a brighter day is coming, and he is going to hold us firm. He has roots down deep into the ground, and we need to be rooted in him, so that when the floods come and the hardship comes, we just cling to him and call out his name, and be rescued in the fact that God knows us personally. He loves us, and he has things ahead for us that we cannot picture ourselves, right? We can't see what tomorrow will bring, or what blessings are around the corner. And so that ties back into what I was saying as well about I was just feeling so alone, and God saw that, and he knew, and he brought all these women together to circle around me, and I had no idea it was coming. I was sort of hungry for fellowship and friendship, and felt like I wasn't being seen or heard. And he knew that. And he put it in one of my friend's heart to throw this grand bash for me, and put it in each and every one of those women's hearts to just pour out love through these words that they put in their cards that just mean so much to me. And so God will use the people around you. He'll use your circumstances to build your relationship with him stronger, and for you to be rooted and firm in the foundation, that knowing that he's always there for you. So I have two reminders as I close up the video. One, you are loved by God, and there is a special place being prepared for you ahead. And so we have to go through these difficult times. He has to break down the life that we had, and wash us free of all those things that we think are going to keep us secure, and so that we can cling to him and love him. So if you need some one-on-one support, definitely connect with me down below. And yeah, and also the other major thing is continue to pray for the people all across the United States that have been affected by all the floods in Florida and North Carolina and into Tennessee. Their life is not gone back to normal. I know the news cycles just sort of rotate so quickly, but they need our prayers. They need our support. And if there's ways that you can connect with them and send aid, they still need it. So they still need generators and supplies to start to rebuild the community that they have. It's beautiful to see so many of them coming together and supporting one another. And through Samaritan's Purse, a lot has been donated, and a lot of help has arrived there. But just be in prayer for those people. God can do anything. And so we need to keep asking him to intercede for these people. And if you do find yourself able to to help. Just pray for where God would lead you to help those people. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to jump on here today and chat with you about. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and we can connect more frequently. And I will be uploading videos more often as well. If this message was helpful to you, then I hope you'll let me know down in the comment section below. And we'll chat soon. Bye, everyone.